So I've done variants of this video before. Like I have done a few variants here and there of this type of video. And that is basically if there was, let's say you're like a High Lord of Terra or a general on a planet, and you're being attacked by a massive, overwhelming force, whether it be Chaos or Xenos or what have you, and you need Space Marine help. What's 3 Space Marine chapters would you want to send to this planet to help defend it? But this time around, we're going to be doing Successor chapters only. Originally, the first time I did this, it was basically with the original founding chapters. But now we're going to be doing Successor chapters only, which there is a lot. Anyway, so let's get started. So what 3 Space Marine Successor chapters would I choose to help defend my world? Well, for starters, I think the first thing is I have 3 different of course 3 different Space Marine chapters are going to serve 3 different options, and how they best help defend the planet that they're on. So the first one is going to do the Bulwark. This one is going to be the one that is going. This first Successor chapter is going to be the one facing the opponents head on. Like they're going to be the ones who are doing the frontal assaults. They're going to be out there fighting alongside the Imperial Guard, and also holding back the enemy forces. So that first one are the Scythes of the Emperor. The Scythes of the Emperor are an Ultramarine Successor chapter that I think are incredibly solid. I think they are a very solid assault force. Yes, they are more designed to fight the Tyranids. They were founded specifically after, I think, the first or second Tyrannic War, but they are more or less built for fighting Tyranids. But that doesn't mean they can't fight. That does not mean in any way, shape, or form that they cannot fight a non-Tyranid threat. So they are strong infantry forces. They also some of them carry those heavy scythes, and they're also incredibly steadfast and incredibly strong, and are more than willing to hold the line no matter what in true Ultramarine fashion. And also, their armor is pretty tight. I'm not going to lie. Just as a side note, I do think their armor is incredibly solid. Their coloration, their armor design, I really do enjoy it. So the next chapter the next chapter I'm calling upon for aid is is the Raptors. Side note: the Raptors are slowly becoming my favorite Successor Space Marine chapter. The Raptors will be doing all the stealth work. They're basically going to be going out there and handling and destabilizing forces behind enemy lines. The other thing is, too, that makes them so important, and why I put them here, is because the Raptors, they are a Raven Guard Successor chapter. They're also incredibly resourceful and reasonable. These guys are more than willing to work with other Space Marine chapters, and also they're willing to work with Imperial Guard. Not only that, they're also the most sensible. They're some of the most they're nicknamed the reasonable Raptors, or the reasonable Marines, because these guys are more than willing to work with other chapters, Imperial Guard, but also they're not willing to be gung-ho about honor, or fighting to the last man. If things go south, if things go incredibly south in these situations, they are going to pull back. They're going to divert their resources into retreating, and then come back and hit you harder, or try to draw you into a trap that they designed. The Raptors are also more than capable of sharing intel. They're also capable of reconnaissance. They're also they are basically well-rounded stealth soldiers, and these are someone you want behind the enemy lines, absolutely disrupting the enemy, no matter what. So my so that's why I think I would have the Raptors here doing all, and also I think it would be kind of cool to put them alongside the Scythes of the Emperor, because the Scythes of the Emperor, the Scythes are basically, they're about honor and tradition and things like that. But I also think they'd be willing to like listen to the Raptors, and the Raptors would be like, we had to fall back, but we got some intel, and you were about to walk into a trap. That's cool. Hope that's cool. And the sides would be like, thanks, cousins. So there you go. That's why I would love to have the Raptors. And finally, who is my final Space Marine Successor chapter that I'm calling upon to help defend my world? Well, for the last one is probably the one who's probably going to get the most shit done, because they don't care. And it would also be fun to see how they would play off of the Raptors and the sides of the Scythes. And that's the Firehawks. And immediately everyone just went, "Oh no!" I could almost hear everyone in the watching this video go, "Oh no, not them!" They were arguably the biggest instigators in the early days of the Bad Ab War, because they're so fucking not cool with everything. They are the most gung-ho, petty bitches you will ever meet outside of maybe the Red Scorpions and the Minotaurs and the Space Sharks. The Firehawks, the reason why I would want them in this battle is because these guys are really good also. They have a solid armada. That's the first thing, is that the Firehawks have a pretty solid armada in their chapter. So if you want orbital help, you're going to get it from the Firehawks. Not only that, but the other major point I want to drive is that these guys, like I said a little earlier, are the embodiment of we get shit done. So if I'm gonna have them drop pod in the middle of a fight, they're gonna take out the enemy. Not only that, these guys are all about like, we burn the enemy to the ground in the name of the Emperor. Now, I do think their personalities will clash, especially with the Raptors. I think they would look at the Raptors and be like, "You guys are fucking cowards. At least the Scythes, join us in battle." But I do think that the Firehawks would probably keep their voice down after a little while, depending on how long the battle goes. But I do think they would give the Raptors a bit of some shit here and there. But can't argue with results, and trust me, you're going to get results with the Firehawks. So there you go, guys. Scythes of the Emperor, Firehawks, which I forget which Successor chapter they're from. I don't think they're Ultramarines. I think I can't remember what Successor chapter they're from. But yeah, and the Raptors. There you go. Those are the 3 Space Marine chapters I would choose. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what are 3 Successor Space Marine chapters you would call upon to defend your world? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.